शक्ल नज़र आई, तस्वीर नज़र आई। शाहजहानाबाद seen and unseen, felt and unfelt, tracing history through visual storytelling. आज की इस सेशन की हमारी मेहमान हैं डॉक्टर स्वप्ना लिटिल. डॉक्टर स्वप्ना लिटिल, इफ़ यू कम. और हमारे मेज़बान हैं जनाब शुभम मिश्रा. Shubham Mishra is an urban planner with training from the School of Planning and Architecture, Delhi, and the Faculty of Geoinformation Science and Earth Observation. Recently, his focus has been on Waqiyat-e-Delhi, a web GIS portal on mid-19th century Delhi. Previously, he contributed to projects like mapping and designing a tree database for Sundar Nursery and the Humayun's Tomb Complex for Aga Khan Trust for Culture. Shubham has provided planning and GIS training to various organizations such as German International Cooperation, the World Bank, and others. Okay, so we'll begin now.
आप सबको आदाब और बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. तो सबसे पहले क्योंकि हमको एक इंट्रोडक्शन करना ही होता है तो मैं उससे शुरुआत करता हूँ. Dr. Liddle is a historian with a special interest in Delhi. She has authored several big books which include The Broken Script, Delhi Under the East India Company, 1803 to 1857, Connaught Place and the Making of New Delhi, Chandni Chowk, the Mughal City of Old Delhi, Delhi 14 Historic Walks, and her latest book, of course, is Shahjahanabad, Mapping a Mughal City, the reason why all of us are here for this session. Okay, I'm sorry. Apart from being an author, she has also been associated with INTAC as the convener of the Delhi chapter previously, and has worked extensively to raise awareness about the importance of historic sites and neighborhoods and their preservation by conducting heritage walks, public talks, radio show, and also creating audio tour guides and podcasts. तो ये जो एक फॉर्मल इंट्रोडक्शन है, अगर मैं आपकी इजाज़त से थोड़ी गुस्ताखी करके जो मैंने पहले भी की है, इसमें मैं एक चीज़ और जोड़ दूं कि अगर आज हमारे साथ इंतज़ार हुसैन साहब होते जो कि इस हमारे सब कॉन्टिनेंट के बहुत ही मशहूर शॉर्ट स्टोरी राइटर थे, तो वो स्वप्ना जी के लिए एक फ्रेज़ का इस्तेमाल करते, दिल्ली का रोड़ा. मतलब यहाँ का वो बाशिंदा जिसने खूब इस शहर की खाक छानी हैं और यहाँ से चीज़ें निकाली हैं. तो जो स्वप्ना जी का काम है, जो किताबें हैं, जो इनकी जो टॉक्स जो होती रहती हैं, उससे हमको इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में बहुत अच्छे से बखूबी पता चलता है. इसके पहले डॉक्टर लिटिल शुरू करें, मैं एक छोटी सी बात और कहना चाहता हूँ कि मेरी ट्रेनिंग जो है वो ज्योग्राफी और अर्बन प्लानिंग, कार्टोग्राफी सब की रही है. जो अभी लंच के पहले का सेशन था उसमें डॉक्टर हिलाल अहमद ने मैपिंग की बड़ी अच्छे से बात की, और उसमें एक जो चीज़ आई वो ये थी कि नक्शे बनाने का या नक्शे का जो तसव्वुर था वो हमारे यहाँ बहुत बाद में आया, जो कि काफ़ी सही है. और उन्होंने काफ़ी हमको एग्जांपल्स दिए कि किस तरह से अलग अलग दौर में जो नक्शे थे वो किस तरह से देखे गए. तो अगर हम हिंदुस्तान के नक्शे से उतर के शहरों के नक्शे पे आते हैं तो भी वो बात काफ़ी सटीक होती है कि हमारे पास नक्शों का उस तरह से तसव्वुर नहीं था काफ़ी समय तक. क्योंकि जिस नक्शे पर डॉक्टर लिटिल की ये किताब है वो किसी अननोन कार्टोग्राफर द्वारा बनाया हुआ 1846 का नक्शा है, यानी 1846 का, मिड 19th सेंचुरी का. शाहजहानाबाद की शुरुआत जो है वो 1638 में है, एक फॉर्मल शुरुआत. उसके पहले भी वहाँ पे सेटलमेंट्स थे फ़िरोज़ शाह तुगलक के दौर से, वो अलग बात है. पर जब नींव पड़ी शहर की तो साल था 1638. 1648 में उसका इनाग्रेशन हुआ. तो 1648 से लेके 1846 लगभग 200 साल तक हमारे पास शहर का कोई बहुत डिटेल्ड नक्शा नहीं है. इस पर हमारे पास किताबें बहुत हैं. सैरुल मनाजिल है जिसमें बहुत डिटेल्ड एक तरह से शहर का डिस्क्रिप्शन है, और भी किताबें हैं, पर नक्शा नहीं है. तो अब इस प्रेजेंटेशन में भी हम जब देखेंगे तो ये एक इंडियन और वेस्टर्न कार्टोग्राफी दोनों का एक बड़ा अजीब सा एक ब्लेंड है. इसमें काफ़ी हद तक एक्यूरेसी है, पर इतनी एक्यूरेसी भी नहीं है जो कि हम वेस्टर्न नक्शों में पाते हैं. पिछले सेशन में एक और शायद एक कमेंट आया था, शायद अभी वो यहाँ पे नहीं है, कि ये जो दौर था ये ग्रेट ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिकल सर्वे का दौर था. तो जब ये नक्शा बना तब ग्रेट ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिकल सर्वे जॉर्ज एवरेस्ट के अंडर तब चल रहा था. दिल्ली के जो सबसे डिटेल्ड नक्शे बनने शुरू हुए वो भी इस नक्शे के बाद बने हैं 1873 में, जब 1869 में लाला हरदेव दास टीकाराम सर्वे शुरू हुए, जो कि म्यूनिसिपल कमेटी मैप्स के अंतर्गत फिर बाद में छापे गए 1873 में। तो हम इन जब नक्शों को देखेंगे तो आप पाएंगे कि इसमें कुछ हद तक एक्यूरेसी है, और इसके पहले जो हिंदुस्तानी नक्शे बनाते थे उनमें इतनी एक्यूरेसी नहीं होती थी, पर उसमें एक तरह का अलग विजुअलाइजेशन था, जिसमें आपको ऊपर से दिखने वाले नक्शे में घरों के फसाड या जो भी इमारतें हैं उनके फसाड दिखते थे, तो इसमें वो चीज़ भी आपको मिलेगी। तो हमारे जो सेशन का उन्वान है जो शक्ल नज़र आई तस्वीर नज़र आई, तो जो इसका पहला मिसरा है कि दिल्ली के ना थे कूचे और आके मुसव्विर थे, तो मुझे लगता है कि जो भी कार्टोग्राफर ये रहे होंगे उनके दिमाग में मीर के इस शेर को फिट करने का मुझे लगता है कि ज़्यादा उनका मन था। एक्यूरेसी पे बहुत ज़्यादा ध्यान नहीं दिया गया, पर उन्होंने जो शक्ल नज़र आई, तस्वीर नज़र आई, वो इसमें हमको बखूबी दिखती है। शुक्रिया।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया शुभम, और शुक्रिया मैं करूँगी अंजुमन तरक्की उर्दू हिंद का कि इन्होंने एक तो ये सेमिनार का इसको इतनी बेहतरीन तरीके से बनाया है, इतने सारे दिलचस्प सेशंस, स्पीकर्स, और मुझे मौका दिया कि मैं इसमें बोलूं शाहजहानाबाद के ऊपर। और शाहजहानाबाद तो मुझे बहुत अजीज़ है, मैंने काफ़ी काम भी किया है, मेरी PhD उसी के इर्द गिर्द है। तो ये जो जैसे आपने बोला मैप, शुभम इज़ द राइट पर्सन टू इंट्रोड्यूस इट, क्योंकि इतनी अच्छी तरह से आप समझते हैं कार्टोग्राफी को और स्पेस को और किस तरह से मैप है। बट मेरा जो अप्रोच है ऑब्वियसली वो थोड़ा सा फ़र्क है। मैं जिस बारे में बात करूँगी और मुझे लगता है कि वो चीज़ ऑडियंस को भी ज़्यादा लोग उसको उसमें दिलचस्पी शायद दिखाएंगे, वो ये है कि मैं कुछ स्नैपशॉट्स आपको देना चाहती हूँ मैप में से कुछ एरियाज़ को लेके, और ये दिखाना चाहती हूँ कि या तो ये ऑलरेडी अभी है हमारे पास, या कोई चीज़ें जो ढह गई हैं, इनसे जो जुड़ी हुई जो शक्लें हैं, ये शक्लें कौन हैं, उसकी बात मैं थोड़ा सा करना चाहती हूँ। पर थोड़ा सा उतना ज़्यादा प्रोफाउंड नहीं होगा, उतना ज़्यादा बहुत ही संजीदा नहीं होगा, थोड़ा सा हल्का फुल्का है। एंजॉय कीजिए ये मेरे फेवरेट शाहजहानाबाद की एक हिस्टोरिकल जो तस्वीर है 1840s की, उस टाइम पे शाहजहानाबाद क्या था। तो ऐसा है कि मैंने मैप के कुछ आपको दिखेंगे आपके स्क्रीन के ऊपर। तो ये जो आपको दिख रहा है ये है मैप। बाय द वे मैप काफ़ी बड़ा है, मैप बड़ा है, पर उसके मैंने कुछ हिस्से लिए हुए हैं, उनको थोड़ा सा इनलार्ज किया है। ये है लाल किला। लाल किला बहुत ही मज़ेदार ये और बहुत ही दिलचस्प ये जो मैप है वो इसलिए इतना दिलचस्प है क्योंकि आप इसमें जो डिटेल देख पा रहे हैं, जो सारी इमारतें देख पा रहे हैं, वो सब ज़्यादातर ख़त्म हो चुकी हैं, क्योंकि 1857 के बाद जब अंग्रेज़ों ने इस पे कब्ज़ा किया तो ज़्यादातर इसकी जो बिल्डिंग्स थी सब टूट गई। तो अच्छा, दिस इज़ द नेक्स्ट वन। ओके ओके, yeah, I will tell you, yeah, I will tell you. So you can see ये contours हैं map के। So I'll tell you what, मैं इधर आ जाती हूँ, I'll stand up, I always find it easier to stand. So sorry, this is just can you hear me? Yeah, okay, great. इसमें आई थिंक वो डिस्टेंस थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा ही है। एनीवे, प्लीज़ मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड। ये जो स्लाइड आप देख रहे हैं, दिस इज़ अगर आप उसको लोकेट करना चाहें, ये एक ऐसा हिस्सा है रेड फोर्ट का जहाँ पे अब देर आर ओनली अ फ्यू कॉलोनियल बिल्डिंग्स, देर इज नथिंग लेफ्ट फ्रॉम द अर्लियर पीरियड. सो व्हाट यू सी इज, एक तरफ तो आपका दिल्ली दरवाज़ा है राइट को, दिल्ली गेट, और बॉटम लेफ्ट हैंड कॉर्नर पे है लाहौरी दरवाज़ा, लाहौर गेट, जहाँ से हम लोग आजकल घुसते हैं लाल किले में. तो अगर आप वहाँ से घुसें, अगर आप राइट की तरफ देखें, I'm sorry, at this pointer, I'm not sure if it's working. Is it working? No, I don't want the slide changer. Does the...
Put up few lights in the front, please.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll actually see this. If there's no, sorry? No. Okay, no, it's okay, doesn't matter. So you have very interesting buildings here. अगर आप दिल्ली दरवाजे को देखें, उसके पास एक there's a area called the Rath Khana. These were where this was the gate from which the palace's own residents used to come and go. और वहाँ पे वो you can think of it as a parking lot. अपने रथ वहाँ पे रोकते थे, their गाड़ीज. उसके अंदर अगर देखिए, there's a large green garden sort of thing. वो नज़ारत है. This is where the Nazir, the chief eunuch, who was in charge of the household, he used to stay here. He had his, और उसके पास एक, on the left of that actually there's a small baradari which is not labeled here, but that was the place where his kachehri was there. His baradari was there. He used to sit there and he used to transact his considerable official business. उसके नीचे जो blue, I'm only talking about the things which I have marked in blue. उसके नीचे अगर देखें तो there's another this thing, Haveli Ashraf Beg. Ashraf Beg was somebody from the early 19th century. When the British first came to Delhi, very soon afterwards, they managed to put their own guard, station their own guard in the fort. And of course, their own commandant was in the fort, but there was also an Indian commander, Ashraf Beg, who used to report to the British, and that is Ashraf Beg's Haveli. So this area that you're looking at between, in that sense, the Delhi Darwaza and the Lahore Darwaza was an administrative area of the fort, and it has some of these interesting buildings. But before I move on from this slide, I want to look at the one at the top, the blue labeling at the top. That is the Meena Bazaar. Meena Bazaar, there's been a lot of talk about the Meena Bazaar as a place where it was a market which used to be held basically for the inhabitants of the fort, especially the female inhabitants. So because they would not go out to the market, but and of course there were a lot of productions, a lot of manufactures happening in the fort itself, and it used to be held over here. So this was the original Meena Bazaar. All of this was destroyed after 1857. तो अगर हम एक शक्ल इससे देखें, this is one of the Nazirs. Inayat Afzoon was his name. He was a 19th century person. He was during the reign of Akbar II, which was Akbar II's reign is from 1806 to 1837. और उसके बीच में Inayat Afzoon Nazir was the Khwaja Sara, the Nazir of the that's the title he got, but he was a Khwaja Sara, and he was the head of he was in charge of the household of the Mughal emperor. And this is actually a portrait is taken from a court photograph, a court painting of Akbar II's court, which shows Akbar II seated with all these different figures in the court, and Inayat Afzoon is also a part of that picture. Okay, sorry, I need to look at this also in order to, this is the area which is just the northern end of Daryaganj. तो अगर दरियागंज देखिए, on top is the Delhi Darwaza. वो Red Fort का, that's the southern part of the Red Fort, the Delhi Darwaza. Extreme right, you will see a place called Rajghat Darwaza. So these were different ghats of the river. Of course, I mean, the river was a lot closer then. Today, where these places are, adjoining the Red Fort is not the river, but the ring road. But us waqt yahan pe, the river was still around. So the Rajghat, this was a city gate, one of the city gates. It was called the Rajghat Darwaza. Usi ke paas dekhiye Dharamshala bhi hai. Because people who would enter the city through that gate found it easy to stay in that Dharamshala. Just like these days, you know, people have guest houses next to next to railway stations, next to airports, etc. Also, of course, there are all sorts of. This was a place where mostly a lot of European presence was also there, and you can see some interesting things here. There's a Dak Bangla, there's an Aspatal, there is the Girja Ghar. These are all institutions which are associated with the colonial presence over here. And you have the Chhavni Safarmina. And that Chhavni Safarmina was actually the cantonment of the sappers and miners. So sappers and miners very creatively rendered as Safarmina. Then you have two mosques there, very interesting. One is the Sunehri Masjid. If you look at the left, I hope you can read some of this. I don't know, I can't point to it, but it's in that green patch, but it's a small mosque, Sunehri Masjid, which is the Sunehri Masjid, which is in front of the gate of the Red Fort. If you go to the Red Fort parking today, on the left, there is the Sunehri Masjid. That is that Sunehri Masjid. And right adjacent to it, you see on this map, the Akbarabadi Masjid. So that Akbarabadi Masjid, I think there was some discussion earlier about the Akbarabadi Masjid, which was demolished after 1857. So you can see that it was a large masjid. It was actually called the Masjid Kashmiri Katra, because by this time, a lot of, it had a katra attached to it, a commercial space. So when you look at these spaces, for instance, what is interesting about this map, which Shubham was of course pointing out, was कि इसमें हमको buildings की भी शक्लें दिखती हैं. You know, this is not a normal, you know, you can see some of the facades of the buildings are also shown. But anyhow, they show the facade of the building, the Akbarabadi Masjid, और उसके सामने there's a large space which is labeled the Katra. So this Katra was developed as a lot of these old masjids had properties endowed, waqf, which was कई बार दुकानें बनाई जाती थी मस्जिद के साथ, और इस तरह से एक कटरा जो बना है, तो उसके जो rents थे, they used to go to pay for the upkeep and other activities in the mosque. So this was the mosque, which at this time had come to be dominated by a lot of Kashmiri shopkeepers and merchants who used to stay here in the Katra and used to work out of the Katra. So therefore, it began to be called the Masjid Kashmiri Katra. Can we move next, please? Now we come to, this is the area which is, believe it or not, Bhagirath Palace. You know what Bhagirath Palace is today. It बहुत ही crowded जगह है. It is completely built up. It's like a, if you've gone inside it, it is quite overwhelming in how close and crowded it is. But it was a garden. It was, and this, the labeling here is Bagh Begum Sahiba, Kamra Begum Sahiba. So you have this, it was the Haveli of Begum Samru, which was built over here. In fact, that became later Bhagirath Palace, when Lala Bhagirath purchased it, much later in the 20th century. But it was originally the house of Begum Samru. Next to it was, again, in the right side of that picture is what is labeled the bank the Delhi Bank, which later came to occupy, in fact, it came to shortly after this map was made, in I think 1847, it occupied the actually Begum Samru's Haveli, but by this time it was only at that little, in that other Haveli. On the left side of the picture, of the map, in this extract of the map, you see one road going up. And that road is Rah Kaudiya Pul ko. Kaudiya Pul ka naam suna hoga. Kaudiya Pul is a mohalla in. Now Kaudiya Pul, what is Kaudiya Pul? कहाँ का पुल है ये, किसके ऊपर पुल है? I've heard descriptions now saying that it is a pull, it's a pedestrian pull which goes over the railway line. Kaudiya, there was no railway line जब ये मैप बना था. Kaudiya पुल कहाँ था और किस चीज़ के ऊपर पुल बना हुआ था? वो नहर के ऊपर बना हुआ था, on the canal. And there was where, if you keep following that road, the label is right at the bottom. But if you follow that road up, you go up, 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 it actually it crosses a blue river, a blue small canal. It's right on the, it's right there. जहाँ पे वो मैंने दूसरा label लगाया है, उसके थोड़ा सा नीचे, there was a little pull which went over the Nehar. And that is one part of the map which is completely disappeared from the city as we see it today. क्योंकि आज नहर बिल्कुल नहीं बची है. But this was a nehar which went through the city, and the pulls on it were important. So ये एक Kaudiya पुल कहलाता था. There was this, I think there's a story that I've read कि जब मराठों के टाइम में, there was one of the Maratha governors, all the collections that were made in Kaudis from a certain cess or tax or whatever were collected, and this was made from that. Upar there is Dukan Nathu Mistri likha hua hai. So these are these interesting places that somebody who has a shop, so obviously must be a big establishment because it looks quite big. The fact that he should also be commemorated on the map. It is not just the rich and famous, and these are people who are important as well. And his, can we move next, please? And that's the shakal of Begum Samru, which is about towards the latter half of her life, I guess, and so mostly contemporaneous with the Haveli. She died in 1836, I think. So by the time that this map was made, she was already gone. But of course, the Haveli was then, I think, owned by her son still, her adopted son. Next, please. Now we come to another interesting area, which is the Kashmiri Gate area. And this is the Kashmiri Gate area. You can see, if you look at the bottom right, you can see a Qabristan over there. And that Qabristan, that graveyard, is Lothian Cemetery. Lothian Cemetery still exists. Just above that is the magazine. The magazine is where all sorts of gunpowder, etc., was stored. Munitions were stored during this period when the British were in the city. And that really, 1857, this blew up and caused a huge amount of damage, but the whole structure then just disappeared. Only the gateways are left. They are still on that Lothian road के बीचों बीच there are two islands, और उसमें अभी भी खड़े हैं वो दरवाजे उसके. अगर थोड़ा सा आगे चलिए, कचहरी सदरुस सुदूर, the court, the lowest, the sort of the lower courts of the city, the main magistrates' courts, actually. The Sadrus Sudur. Sadrus Sudur at that time was Mufti Sadruddin Azurda, who was a very important person of that time. He was a poet, he was a very well-known and respected scholar, but he was also in the company's judicial service. So he was a Sadr Amin at this point when this map was made. I unfortunately don't have any picture of him, but he was there. Kacheri Sadrus Sudur se agar upar chaliye, so then you have the Kothi and Bagh of the residency. This was where the this was where the resident was actually a misnomer, because he was not more than just a resident of the company in the court of the Mughal. He was actually the administrator of the city also. And that is where he lived. And that was it was believed that this had been once the mansion of Dara Shikoh, which had been, a new facade was added to it, and it became the residency. And it had a large garden behind it. The building of the Koti, that is today, it's in the campus of the Ambedkar University. And behind that is the IP, so Indraprasth, there's an Indraprasth Women's University or something, you know?
IGDT.
Yeah.
Indira Gandhi Technical.
Yes, that is the one which is now there behind it. And of course, you see Koti Sikandar Sahab. Koti Sikandar Sahab is the Koti of James Skinner. James Skinner, founder of Skinner's Horse, important military man. He commanded a troop of irregular horse for the. He had originally served the Marathas, but once the Marathas came into conflict with the British East India Company, they actually got rid of all their soldiers who had a British connection in any way. And Skinner, because his father had been his father was British, he was evicted. So he built his house there, and across from his house, he built a church. And that's also you can see over there, which is St. James's Church. Agla, please. That's David Auchterlonie. David Auchterlonie was a very interesting man. He was born in Boston, I believe, and he came to India at a very young age. He came at the age of 16, and he died in India also. He's buried in Meerut, in the Meerut cemetery. Quite a nice tomb he has. And here you have David Auchterlonie in relaxing in his house with being entertained by some sort of a performance. And this picture is, I mean, not positively identified as Auchterlonie, but is often talked about as this being Auchterlonie. It's not unlikely. The features do seem to be similar. But this is the kind of lifestyle he had, these what William Dalrymple refers to as the white Mughals. But there. Next, please. And that's James Skinner, who is the other picture that is associated with important landmarks in the city. In this case, by the way, the Haveli of Sikandar Sahab was later became that site for the Hindu college. That site for Hindu college, but of course after that, today it's still called the Hindu College campus, but it is an MCD building has come up there. I think some parts of the old college are still there. Next, please. Then you come to the area right just south of Jama Masjid, where you have Khas Bazar on the right, top right, where Khas Bazar was what connected the masjid to the Red Fort. And all of this was built up at that point. Baad mein, it was all demolished after 1857, so much of this was gone. If you look at the yellow at the bottom right, that is Matia Mahal. So there was actually a building there which was known as Matia Mahal, which was there. And then leading to it is Kucha Matia Mahal. There's a kafi winding, somewhat winding lane which goes to Kucha Matia. The person that is again associated here, we had seen Kacheri Sadruddin Azurda. He had a Haveli there at the bottom, you can see Haveli Sadruddin, and that is there. And above, just near the southern gate of the Jama Masjid, you see Katra Sadruddin. Now, this was actually a building called the Darul Baqa, and it had been a institution from the time of Shah Jahan, and Sadruddin Azurda actually got permission from Bahadur Shah Zafar to establish a college here. So he established an educational institution over here. He got teachers, instituted stipends for students and ran this madrasa for a short while. But of course, after 1857, ye sara kuch tod diya gaya. All of this disappeared. So the Sadruddin's madrasa also went. Next, please. This is the area that we now called Dariba. And दरीबा में जो बहुत फेमस पराठे वाली गली है आपको दिख जाएगी ऊपर. I can't point to it. वो जो ऊपर जो आपको दिख रहा है वो तिराहा. In fact उसका लिखा हुआ ही है तिराहा बाज़ार. And if you've been to पराठे वाली गली में अगर आप जाइए तो आपको बिल्कुल समझ में आ जाएगा. एक तरफ मालीवाड़ा है, एक तरफ किनारी बाज़ार है और फिर वो वहाँ से आते हैं तो तिराहा बाज़ार है. तो by this stage it was only called तिराहा बाज़ार. उसके नीचे नौघरा है. Again, lot of people are familiar with that. फिर to the left of that, just off that Maliwada is Koti Gudwale. Now, the Gudwala family were a very important business family of Delhi. Of course, they are still around, but descendants from the original Gudwala family. I think this was Ramji Das Gudwale, who was the person who was the head of the family at the time. The Gudwalas had property all over the city, but this was one of their havelis, which is still with the family, I think. फिर आप देखेंगे उसके नीचे, almost in the middle of the map, just a little bit to the left, is a very interesting building. This is an area which is today known as Chidakhana, और इसमें आपको दिखेगा हवेली मैनुअल साहब. And this is testament to the multicultural nature of Shahjahanabad. This was a Portuguese family, the Deremaus. Manuel Deremau was one of the members of that family who had just died, who had died some years before this map was made. But the Haveli was famous by his name, Manuel Sahab ki Haveli. And it's very interesting. Once I found this on the map, I went looking for it. I said, कि ये Haveli बची है कि नहीं बची है? और when I went, I saw that जैसे कि शाहजहानाबाद की अक्सर हवेलियों के साथ हुआ है कि हवेली तो ख़त्म हो गई पर उसका जो दरवाज़ा है वो अभी भी, जो गेट है वो अभी भी मौजूद है. एंड दैट वाज स्टिल देयर एंड देयर वाज अ बोर्ड ऑन इट व्हिच सेड मन महल की हवेली. तो मैनुअल हैज़ बिकम मन महल, बट इट्स स्टिल देयर, द गेटवे इज स्टिल देयर. चिड़ाखाना में है अगर कोई देखना चाहे तो. फिर आता है मंदिर सरावगी. That's a Jain temple. That also is one of the many temples in that area, which is Dharampura. Usme ek dera Sagun Chand hai. Sagun Chand was a very important man because his ancestor Deep Chand Shah had come to Delhi from Hisar during Shah Jahan's time, and he had set up his banking business over there. And Sagun Chand, and these had been hereditary bankers to the Mughals, then the Marathas, and even with the East India Company, that banking business continued. They were treasurers of the company as well. Sagun Chand was one of those people. And Sagun Chand Sagun Chand's father, Harsukh Rai, he built this big temple over here, which is known as Naya Mandir, if you are familiar with Naya Mandir in Dharampura. That is the, and then of course the Haveli of Sagun Chand is right next to that also. Next, please. Sagun Chand. I was very pleased to come across this painting of Sagun Chand. I think this is from the Chester Beatty Library, which has these, there are court depictions of the courts of various Mughal emperors, and particularly for the later Mughals, these couple of Mughals, you have clearly labeled paintings. So I could see this labeled Sagun Chand Sahukar. Next, please. Okay, so here you will see Haveli Haider Kuli. Haider Kuli was another nobleman of the 18th century, but you can see the Haveli Haider Kuli, you can see Mahal Sarai Haider Kuli. So these were all parts of a very large estate that Haider Kuli had. And even by the early 19th century, this had become a mohalla. So अगर अक्सर हम लोग जो नाम देखते हैं हवेली so and so, अगर पुरानी दिल्ली में, these used to be once havelis, but now with the densification that happened, even that early on, they became mohallas. So that's how it became a mohalla. The other bunch you have is on the right, you have Hakim Sadiq Ali Khan. This was the family of the Sharif Khani family of Hakims. Hakim Ajmal Khan was a descendant of that family also. Sharif Manzil, by the way, is still there. So Sharif Manzil is there. You can still see it. And it's right in front of that Gali Qasim Jan. Qasim Jan ka bhi, you have landmarks right at the bottom. I think that's Mahal Sarai Qasim Jan. So that's one of part of the Haveli of Qasim Jan. A descendant of Qasim Jan, Aminuddin Khan, his Haveli is marked. So this is that particular Loharu family. They were from the Loharu family, and their Havelis are marked over here. Next, please. Hakim Ajmal Khan. I couldn't find any other older pictures of members of the Sharif Khani family of Hakims, but Hakim Ajmal Khan, of course, is very well known. Gandhian freedom fighter. Next, please. Nawab Ahmad Bakhsh Khan of Loharu. A lot of that area, Balli Mara area, was actually dominated by the properties of the Nawabs of Loharu. Aminuddin Khan, etc., were all Qasim Jan, all from the same family. Next, please. I think we've come to the very last bit. And Hauz Qazi, you will recognize that characteristic radiating four roads, the two roads that cross. Interesting, on the bottom left, you have Ghaziuddin Madrasa, which a little bit before this map was made, it had been the Delhi College. But by the time this map was made, the Delhi College had moved. But it's still, and of course, before the Delhi College, before the Delhi College, it was the Ghaziuddin Madrasa. So the name is still noted as Ghaziuddin Madrasa, though by this time it had become a government dispensary. But that is still there. You have the Haveli of Qamaruddin Khan, who was, again, he was an important nobleman of the 18th century, early 18th century. And he had his, one of his daughters was Shahatara. तो एक गली शाहतारा है जो पुरानी दिल्ली को अगर जानते हैं उसी एरिया में next to Ajmeri Gate, गली शाहतारा is named after her because these daughters, he had 3 daughters and they all had properties over there. One was Razi-un-Nisa Begum, but it's I think called Haveli Razia Begum now, that particular Haveli which was there. Also there are on the other side 2 Havelis of 2 important merchants of Raja Kedarnath and Raja Sohanlal. Inki bhi hain. Again, these were important bankers. Kedarnath had a special relationship with the Mughal emperors. He was the one whose family used to always tie Rakhis to the Mughal emperors. There was a history behind this because when Alamgir II was murdered by his own wazir, Imadul Mulk, his body was thrown on the banks of the Yamuna below Firozshah Kotla. And there was this lady who used to go to the banks, to the ghats to bathe. And she was passing that way and stopped, saw this body lying there, recognized it as the emperor's and raised an alarm and stood guard over the body until help came. And it is said that Alamgir Sani's son, Shah Alam II, he was so grateful to her, said, "Ki aaj se tum meri behan ho." And therefore, Raja Kedarnath was also a descendant of that lady. Next, please. On the left is Qamaruddin Khan, whose daughter's property is there. His own Haveli is in that area. And on the right is Raja Kedarnath. Next, please. I think this is pretty much the end. This is the whole area. Just to cut a long story short, this is the whole area where the Nawabs of Awadh had their estate. Now, this is something that is underappreciated, how much property the Nawabs of Awadh owned in Delhi. That whole Khari Bauli ka jo area hai, just north of Khari Bauli, where you can see at the bottom is, of course, Fatehpuri Masjid, Khari Bauli, and uske upar ka jo hissa, the green area, A lot of it has been demolished for the railway line. But all of this was the estate of the Nawabs of Awadh, who were a very prominent family of Delhi. They, of course, went and also established themselves as independent rulers in Awadh. But so, in fact, you can see the Neher, the canal going through the middle of this estate. And it also shows you how important this canal was, because on the side of the canal, all the pulls are beautifully marked. The ghats of the side of the Neher are also marked. But this section of the Neher was called Neher Saadat Khan, after the ruler of Awadh. And in fact, abhi bhi ek mohalla hai wahan pe, jo ki mohalla Neher Saadat Khan kehlata hai. So that the Neher may be gone, but the name still remains. These are just the details of the kinds of buildings that are there. Should we go? I think we are done. This is Nawab Saadat Khan. Next. And that's Safdarjung, who then inherited that estate. I think that's the end. Sorry for racing through this, but I wanted to fit in a lot of information if I could.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. तो मैं सिर्फ 2 मिनट लूँगा और फिर हम कुछ सवाल ले सकते हैं. मुझे लगता है 3:45 तक का टाइम है हमारे पास, तो 15 मिनट हम दे सकते हैं सवाल. So 10 मिनट. अच्छा, चलिए 10 मिनट. So I've already made a couple of comments on the map, but additionally what I want to say is these place names are very important, which we see on the map. And Dr. Little, in an earlier conversation we had in August, she had told me that she had actually corrected a lot of names from Urdu, and she had looked into these names, and then the names that you see in the book, they are kind of edited. She has tried to see what names were written in Urdu, and then paid a lot of attention to it. So the place names tell us a lot about the history of the place, and although there are a lot of place names which are named after the people who were living there, but there also a lot of them are geographic in nature. So things which don't exist anymore, but they give us a lot of clue about it. And if we also sort of zoom out of Shahjahanabad and see the whole of Delhi, or the 7 cities or 8 cities of Delhi, I always believe that the city's urban form is written in water. So in the morning session, I came a little late, so I did not hear that discussion, but there was some discussion on the earlier cities which were located up in the hills, in the Mehrauli, and then how दरिया के पास शहरों का आना, फिरोज़ाबाद और तुगलकाबाद जो एक तरह से आधा था, फिर उसके बाद धीरे धीरे ये शुरू हुआ. तो काफ़ी सारे हमारे अभी भी मोहल्ले ऐसे हैं जिनमें पानी की छाप खासकर बहुत दिखती है, और शाहजहानाबाद में भी वो बहुत है. तो अब आपके पास मतलब जो भी पावर में हैं, आप अपने पॉलिटिकल उससे कुछ भी नाम दे सकते हैं. उसमें मैं उसमें कुछ कहना नहीं चाहता, क्योंकि वो आज भी हो रहा है, पहले भी हुआ है, ऐसा नहीं है कि पहले नहीं हुआ, पर उससे हम थोड़ा थोड़ा इतिहास हमारा खोता जाता है बिट्स एंड पीसेस में. तो अब खारी बावली है, सब इतना बड़ा स्पाइस मार्केट है, पर एक समय वहाँ पे बावली थी जिसका पानी खारा था. तो ये हमारे पानी के इतिहास के नज़रिए से भी ये एक बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट इस तरह से दस्तावेज़ है. दूसरी चीज़, एक और मैं छोटा सा कमेंट ये करना चाहता हूँ कि इस नक्शे में हमको कितने ओपन स्पेसेस दिखती हैं, जो आज हमारा एक तसव्वुर, जो लोग चांदनी चौक नहीं गए या आप शाहजहानाबाद नहीं गए, दूर से ही देखते हैं. अब मेट्रो से सीधे चले जाते हैं साउथ दिल्ली से भी, पर एक ये मानना है कि कंजेस्टेड है और वहाँ पे ओपन स्पेसेस नहीं हैं. तो इससे हमें पता चलता है कि कितने यहाँ पे ओपन स्पेसेस हैं. और ये ओपन स्पेसेस सिर्फ ऐसा नहीं है कि बादशाह के महल में हैं, ये पूरे शहर में हर तरफ फैले हुए हैं. इसका अब और हम टेक्नोलॉजी से एनालिसिस भी कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि इस नक्शे को, जैसा मैंने पहले कहा था, कि एक हद तक ये काफ़ी एक्यूरेट है. आप GIS प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे इसको आप सैटेलाइट इमेज पे डाल सकते हैं, और फिर आप बखूबी देख सकते हैं कि जो रेलवे स्टेशन है वो कहाँ पे आया, और उस वक्त 1857 से पहले का जो शाहजहानाबाद था वो कैसा था. मैं खुद जब छोटा था और मैं कई बार लाल किले जाता था, तो मुझे लगता था कि भाई इसमें ऐसी क्या ख़ास बात है, यहाँ पे 2-4 आपकी इमारतें बची हैं, वहाँ पे भी बैरिकेड्स लगे हैं, वो भी आप देखने नहीं जा सकते, तो लाल किले में क्या है. पर इन सब चीज़ों को हमें देखना चाहिए, और इस तरह के नक्शे बहुत उस तरह से अहम दस्तावेज़ हैं कि हमें पता चलता है कि जो आज बुलडोज़र हैं, एक उस वक्त भी कुछ बुलडोज़र चले थे, तो उनसे क्या क्या डिस्ट्रक्शन हुआ और हमारा किस तरह से इतिहास कहाँ गया है, वो कुछ चीज़ें हमें पता चलती हैं। तो 10 मिनट अब हम कुछ सवाल ले सकते हैं। मेरी गुजारिश बस ये है कि प्लीज़ छोटा रखिएगा सवाल, और कमेंट ना करें, सवाल पूछें। शुक्रिया।
एक है जैन, बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत ही उम्दा आपने रिसर्च की है। मुझे तो आइंस्टीन की थ्योरी ऑफ रिलेटिविटी के बाद लगा कि आपने जो रिसर्च की है उसके बराबर है। इनकी बुक है शाहजहानाबाद, बहुत ही सुंदर किताब है और बहुत मेटिकुलस रिसर्च है। मेरा सवाल केवल ये है कि 1947 के बाद या ब्रिटिशर्स के आने के बाद 1857 के बाद जो परसेप्शन चेंज हुए हैं, और ये शाहजहानाबाद को एक स्लम के जैसे डिग्रेड कर दिया गया, एक जो कॉन्सेप्ट आया, और वो ही हमारे टाउन प्लानिंग एक्ट्स में आ गया और यही सब आ गया। उसके नक्शा अगर होते तो और ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग हो जाता।
सर, मेरी प्रॉब्लम ये है कि मेरा जो स्पेशलाइजेशन है वो 19th सेंचुरी का है, तो ये तो अब मैं शुभम करेंगे ये आगे की कहानी।
सर, वो थोड़े नक्शे हमको मिल जाएं। 1873 के जो म्यूनिसिपल कमेटी के मैप्स हैं वो भी इनकम्प्लीट हैं हमारे पास। अगर वो मिल जाएं तो उस जो आपका कहना बहुत सही है, पर उससे हम ये देख सकते हैं कि किस तरह से ये किया गया है एक तरह से, मतलब
हेलो मैम,
सॉरी,
दिस साइड, यस।
ओह अच्छा, ये इनके पास है इस वक्त।
माय नेम इज अरुण एंड आई एम फ्रॉम CHS डूइंग माय PhD फ्रॉम GNU। मैम, हमने जो पुराने नक्शे देखे आपने दिखाए, तो उसमें हम देखते हैं कि अलग अलग तिजारतदान हैं, जैसे कोठी गुड़वाले हैं, यहाँ सगुन चंद की हवेली है। तो मैं बस ये जानना चाह रहा था कि यहाँ पे टांडों का जिक्र नहीं है, तो क्या टांडे आसपास बसाए नहीं गए थे, मतलब बंजाराओं की? क्योंकि उस समय उनका कंट्रीब्यूशन देखते हैं कि काफ़ी ज़्यादा है, तो उसके बारे में अगर आप कुछ बता सकें।
मुझे ऐसा कोई एविडेंस शहर के अंदर तो नहीं दिखा है, तो अनलाइकली लगता है मुझे। बट प्रोफेसर रिजवी, यू हैव एनी आउटसाइड द सिटी ना, वो शहर के बीचों बीच तो नहीं रहेंगे। नहीं, वो जिस टाइप का वो काम करते हैं, जितनी वो स्पेस ऑक्यूपाई करते हैं, वो जैसे आपके अगर हर तरह के आप क्राफ्ट्स पीपल देख लीजिए, सर्विस पीपल देख लीजिए, वो सब शहर में हैं, बट उनका जो खास काम है वो ऐसा है कि वो बाहर ही चलता है। हाँ, मुझे यही लगता है जी।
थैंक यू मैम फॉर दिस वंडरफुल प्रेजेंटेशन। आपने तीसरे या चौथे स्लाइड्स में एक जगह को दिखाया है सदरुद्दीन कचहरी के नाम से
जी,
और आपने कहा कि वो सदरुद्दीन आजुर्दा के नाम पे वो जगह थी। तो एक इम्पॉर्टेंट पोर्टफोलियो मुग़ल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के अंदर हुआ करती थी सदरुद्दीन, और वो ही वाज हेड ऑफ द, आई मीन दे यूज्ड टू बी हेड ऑफ द रिलीजियस अफेयर्स एंड रिलीजियस एडवाइज़र टू द मुग़ल एम्पायर, और साथ ही साथ वो इंचार्ज भी हुआ करते थे लैंड इंडोमेंट्स के, ख़ास तौर से सूरगल और मदद माश लैंड जो हुआ करती थी, वो उसके इंचार्ज हुआ करते थे। तो क्या ये उन सदरुद्दीन आजुर्दा के नाम पे था या एक पूरा पोर्टफोलियो, एक मिनिस्ट्री?
नहीं, मैं ये कहना चाह रही थी कि इस वक्त जब ये नक्शा बना है, तो दिल्ली के जो सदर अमीन थे, ये वो दौर है दिल्ली की हिस्ट्री का कि जब जो पुराना जो मुग़ल एम्परर्स का जो सिस्टम था सदरुद्दूर, उसका नॉमेनक्लेचर तो किसी हद तक चला आ रहा था यहाँ पे, बट द इंस्टीट्यूशन वाज अ ब्रिटिश इंस्टीट्यूशन। ब्रिटिश जो हायरार्की थी ऑफ द जुडिशल सर्विस, मैजिस्ट्रेट हुआ करता था, मैजिस्ट्रेट के नीचे, मैजिस्ट्रेट हमेशा अंग्रेज़ हुआ करता था, उसके नीचे आप प्रिंसिपल सदर अमीन आते थे, फिर उनके नीचे सदर अमीन होते थे, फिर मुंसिफ होते थे। इस तरह से वो ग्रेजुएशंस, लोअर जो जुडिशरी थी उसमें हिंदुस्तानियों को रखा जाता था, और जो तो ये जो कचहरी है, दिस इज़ द मेन कोर्ट, द मैजिस्टीरियल कोर्ट तो है, नाम जो कार्टोग्राफर ने दिया है वो है कचहरी सदरुद्दूर, बट है वो मैजिस्ट्रेट्स कोर्ट। एंड सदरुद्दीन अजुर्दा भी वहीं बैठते थे, जो कि उस वक्त सदर अमीन थे.
Yes, we have a question there. So.
Is it? Yeah, it's on. Okay, I came 15 minutes late, so I may have missed something. But आपने एक पॉइंट पे दिखाया था, एक धर्मशाला है, वो घाट शायद दिल्ली दरवाजे के पास. तो उस टाइम वो धर्मशाला वहाँ पे है, तो एज कम्पेयर टू द पीपल हु आर एंटरिंग द सिटी बाय फुट, some people were entering by the water, by the Yamuna. Which was the more important entry and exit point? Was it the waterway? Was it like a highway of that time, or the important people were using the waterway more?
I won't be able to say what was being used more, but ये मैं कह सकती हूँ कि there was quite a lot of traffic on the river also. Bulk goods used to be transported by the river even in the 19th century. और ऑफ कोर्स वो जो रोड वाला रास्ता था वो तो था ही, जो लाहौरी गेट पे था, आज भी है, पर आज वो ट्रेन से आता है. In that same area there are a lot of hotels and those warehouses, and in fact some पुरानी धर्मशालाएं अब वो बन गई हैं storage areas. They've become warehouses because that traffic, there were always dharmshalas over there because that traffic used to come. In fact, there's a interesting anecdote about this cave. Soon after Aurangzeb came to the throne, he actually had to have the Lahori Darwaza broken and enlarged because the traffic coming through was too much. It was just so heavy, the traffic, that they needed a wider gateway, so they had to change that gateway. So that was the other major entry point for the city. But I can't say which was more. I don't know. Are we done?
So, thank you so much, ma'am.
I will just make one final this thing which was spurred by what you said when you said कि open spaces जो खत्म होती जा रही हैं. One very important way in which open spaces खत्म होती जा रही हैं वो आंगन हैं. The courtyards of the homes. Every time a haveli comes down, and those are typically with multiple courtyards, every time one comes down, what you have in its place is a block that comes up. चाहे वो commercial type का हो या फिर block of flats हो या कुछ हो, that is a very important way in which we are losing open space now. And given that the development in any case is one which doesn't have setbacks, which doesn't have, it is just the wrong way to develop Shahjahanabad. So I thought.
No, I completely agree, and Mr. Jain is also here. So I think for some of these historic areas, we have to, it's my personal opinion, that we have to look beyond the master plan. We have to have some other tools, and I work a lot with technology and remote sensing and GIS and 3D models, and I'm sure we can look into these tools which are kind of dynamic in nature, which go beyond the master plan. What ma'am is saying is absolutely correct, that the plots are so small, and the open spaces we also have to appreciate. A lot of these are courtyards, and they are inward looking open spaces. So you don't really see them, even in those days you would not have seen them from the outside, but there would be open spaces, which is also, which also leads us to an interesting point, that how was this map made? Because there was no drone and there was no satellite image, so how did the cartographer access these spaces? And of course, he might have climbed up on the minar of the Jama Masjid and to get a view. But coming back to the open spaces question, yes, if a Haveli or any other old structure is broken down, what you have is something which, whatever new thing comes up, and it's a concrete block or it's a glass facade building, it occupies the entire footprint. So that's also something that we planners have to look into, and perhaps come out with some sort of a tool which also tells us something about the quality of life which a Haveli or an older building with the open space would provide, or what it is being replaced with. Thank you so much, ma'am. I think we can close the session.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
शाहजहानाबाद जब बना तो स्लॉटर हाउस कहाँ बने?
Sorry?
स्लॉटर हाउस
अब
इतना बड़ा शहर, इतनी आबादी, जैनी नहीं थे, मुस्लिम ज़्यादा थे। जैनियों के हवेली के आसपास कोई स्लॉटर हाउस नहीं है। सारे शहर का आप नक्शा देख लें, राजा कितारनाथ की हवेली के पास, कोडवालों की हवेली के पास, खारी बावली की हवेली के पास
मोस्टली
कोई स्लॉटर हाउस नहीं।
मोस्टली नियर द गेट्स, योर तुर्कमान दरवाजे के पास हाँ, तो शहर के बिल्कुल वो जो फसील है उसके पास।
अगर आप शहर में रहते हैं तो आपको नजर आएगा।
So I think we can close this session, and we have another session now.
Thank you, Dr. Liddy.